In today's Mass, we normally pay attention in any Mass to the readings, the first reading, and the readings about Abraham. We're continuing the story of Abraham, and where today is the way God changes his name from Abram to Abraham and Sarai to Sarah. These are important changes actually, because Abram means leader of your tribe, Abraham means leader of the nations. And so that great change is made there with the new covenant. People pay attention to the first reading or the gospel, but they don't, the Psalms just kind of is in between there, sometimes sung, sometimes, glossed over, people just respond. But the responsorial psalm is, for today, Friday, is the see how the Lord blesses those who fear him. The Lord blesses those who fear him. The word fear, we see that word fear in a lot of places. And in most places, it is translated like fear, being afraid. When the apostles saw that Jesus calmed the storm, for example, they were afraid. Who's this man? So there was a real fear. But when it appears in the Psalms and other places, the word fear is not fear. It's standing back in awe. Imagine yourself standing on the brink of the Grand Canyon. Or, for example, if you're in a dark night looking at the stars, the Milky Way, and just look at that magnificent vista. Or you see mountains, like you're in Yosemite and see grand mountains there. We just simply stand back in awe. That is the kind of fear we're talking about. So the psalm says, the Lord blesses those who fear the Lord. In other words, we stand back in awe to God's work, what God has done. And what God has done is not simply created the world, of course that's there, and the magnificent world and the universe, but what God has done to us is that he loves us profoundly. And even the word love is inadequate to express what it is. And I've used this, and some of you might remember, I used the word hased. Hased there is no English word for it, because hased is a combination of many things: mercy, love, caring, etc. But I suppose the way for you to understand, at least in one of these contexts, is imagine yourself when there's a little puppy that comes up to you. There's something that goes up, wells up in you. You want to lift it up and pet it and hold it. There's something that delight that is in you. Or when you see a baby, or when you see something that is nice and cute, there's something that happens within you. That is Hesed. And that is how God is with each one of us. So when we experience this Hesed of God and come to the realization that God has this feeling for me, sinner, problems, issues, addictions, and still God has this Hesed for me. There's nothing I can do except stand back in awe that this great and wonderful God looks at me with this great deep love and this deep affection. And that is what the psalmist is saying. See how the Lord blesses those who fear him. See how the Lord blesses those who has Hesed for him, or recognizes his Hesed. And it goes on, blessed are you who fear the Lord, who walk in his ways, for you shall eat the fruit of your handiwork, and blessed shall you be and favored. The fruit of your handiwork is not, what you do, something you made. Handiwork here is that entire experience that you have that translates itself into life itself. And that fruit of the handiwork, God blesses and makes it better. So as we sort of continue with the day, there's one thing I would like you to do, if you can, and make it a habit. Take time off, maybe, for a minute or 2 or 5 every day, and just simply stand back in awe Look at things around you and see how awesome they are and how wonderful nature is. Look at a leaf, just hold it close and look at the way it is. Look at anything, even a rock, and you're filled with awe about the glory of God. And that is what the psalmist says. The Lord blesses those who fear the Lord. Thank you.